So, I have so many questions for you as somebody who runs, who does these things and runs a lot. Because I know that you run. I know that you're an avid runner.
It started off that way, yeah.
And, did it start just running around the block, running the savannah?
It actually started running around West Moorings, just 2 miles. Like when I was a teenager, and I used to have friends that told me I run like a chicken. And like I was never coordinated with running at all. So I don't know how it progressed from running 2 laps of West Moorings to,
Ironmans and marathons.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, I know kind of when I see your content, it's usually of a fitness variety.
Yeah.
And so I know that it's, okay, well, you're preparing for this and that. Or now it looks like you're preparing for things because now it's turned, I guess,
yeah.
When does one go professional with running? Is that a thing?
Well, professional is a strong word. It's just a hobby that I do for fun. But I did get very close to elite level once. But, then COVID happened, it screwed up everything. And then, I took a long break after that.
But you say it's a hobby.
Yes, it's a hobby.
Running a marathon, 26.2 miles, the preparation for that.
Yeah.
I collect Pokemon cards. That's a hobby, right? That's a hobby.
Yeah.
But and then of course an Ironman, which we will get to. I want that to be its own kind of conversation.
Yeah.
But you now say you're preparing for the Tokyo Marathon. What? So now do you just pick marathons? Is there a list of marathons globally and you're like, I want to do this one this year, I want to do this one this year?
Yeah, well, in marathon world, there's something called the 6 stars. So you collect 6. It's 6 of the major cities. They just added on a 7th and an 8th. But before that, it was just 6. And I've reached 4 out of the 6. Not a lot of trainees have done it so far. Like there's a few.
You could pull this just a tad
yeah.
closer.
I think yeah. And so I have 4 out of the 6, and now Tokyo would be the 5th, and then the last one would be Berlin. So
which are the 6?
So it's New York, Chicago, Boston, and London. So those are the 4 I did. Then I have Tokyo on March 1st, and then Berlin whenever. Running has become such a craze around the world that these marathons are completely sold out every single year. You have to do a lottery to get in, or you have to go on. You have to be really, really fast. That's how you get into Boston, actually. You have to qualify on time. So, yeah, it's just really hard to get into these things. So, for the Tokyo, I had to raise $2,000 US for charity for kids with cancer. So, everything, you could get in through charity or these kind of things. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
And besides those 6, are there, I always hear about marathons and then, of course, ultra marathons.
Yes.
Which are 42 miles, 100 miles, whatever it is.
So anything longer than 26.2 miles, 42 kilometers, people like kilometers.
That's what it is, right?
Right. Anything longer is considered an ultra marathon.
Because I've heard there's a bunch like this one, and some of these things these are not just runs. These things are strenuous exercises in endurance and stamina and will and mental capacity.
Yeah, it takes a lot. It really takes a lot out of you. I've not actually ever done an ultra race per se, but I've done it on my own. So I would go and run 35 miles or whatever. In Tobago, we once had a few of us, we ran from Crown Point to Pirates Bay, which is 42 miles. I need to learn kilometers so that people could get, but I'm a miles girl.
Well, I work in miles too, so but I work in both. But I
people can relate more to kilometers in Trinidad.
Right. Yeah. And what is the preparation like for? Let's start off with what's the preparation like for a marathon? You're running 26.2 miles. It's normally flat.
It could
some of them could be hills.
Could have some rolling hills, like C2C from Tobago. That was really hilly. So it depends on the course. Everywhere is different.
What's the preparation? You start running 5Ks and then you bump it up to 10Ks. And what's the process?
I would say for a beginner, yes. The most important run of your week is called your long run. So you have 1 day a week. Usually it's a Sunday morning, but you could choose whatever day you want. And then on that day, you just increase your long run mileage. The rest of the week, it's important, but not as important. Once you get your long run in, you're good. And then you just keep increasing. But for me, I'm always kind of going to be marathon ready at any given point. So the preparation really isn't to finish. My preparation is really just to try and improve time,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Because at any given point, I can run a marathon. Not to sound cocky or anything, but
At any given point, I can run to Piarco in no problem. But so then what is preparation like for you then? I mean, if you're kind of always in a prepared state, then what's a normal week for you then?
Right.
In terms of running, I'm assuming.
So, well, after the Ironman, I took 2 months off basically. And now after, I just did the most amount of liming and just let myself go. So for me, I was like, the new year came and I'm like, oh, I have to get back in it. So I just chose last week Friday to make. Now I've chosen Friday for my long run day. I don't know why, because it's carnival season. So I want to get a few limes and I don't want to waste my whole weekend. Because if it's a long run on a Sunday, then you can't do anything for the weekend. So I put it on a Friday, so at least I have 1 day a week to, lime. So Friday gone, I just did 18 miles just to get back into it.
Wow.
So this Friday, I might do 20, and then just kind of increase until Tokyo.
And you kind of you looked at me funny just before we started rolling, where I told you that I prefer treadmills, which is, I know people might have a problem with that.
A lot of people would have a problem.
A lot of people have a problem with that. But I just like the kind of the predictability of just one flat. There's no stone, there's no up and down, that's what it is for me. But when you're doing 18 miles and 20 miles, you're running that outdoors?
Yes. So
do you have like an 18-miler course that in your mind, okay, I'm doing 20 miles, so I'm going to go here? Or do you plan out new routes? Let me go and check out another road.
I don't plan anything. So for the 80 miles on Friday, I just left my house and I literally go where the wind takes me.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went through all Maraval. I went down to West Moorings. I did a lap of West, did a lap of Columbus Circle, went back up. I just make up on the fly wherever I feel like going.
And you're checking?
Yeah, and then I time it so good because I know where everything is. So I just know how far this point is away from home. And it always works out to be almost exact.
And do you, so then you just go and then you turn around or you do a loop?
No, well, I just go all over the place. You should see my maps when I'm done. They're just all over the mess.
I've seen some guys in New York draw.
I know, that is so cool.
With their runs, they run route.
Yes, this is a big thing in Strava. Strava is the social media app do you know Strava?
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
but
it's the social media app for people, fitness enthusiasts. Right. And it's crazy the kind of maps they do. I kind of want to try one.
You should do one.
I know.
Should do
but I don't think I'm that inclined to figure out where it would be.
What streets to take. All right, so I want to get into IronMan.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, Ironman is run, swim, bike.
Well, it's
in a different order.
It's swim, ride, bike, because you have to swim, ride, bike, because you have to have the swim first.
Run.
Swim, ride, bike.
Right.
Swim, ride, run. Yeah.
Swim, ride, run. Right.
Yes. You have to have the swim first because people will drown. Can you imagine if you put the swim at the end?
Right, okay.
Everybody would
You'd have to have way more emphasis on lifeguards.
Because by the time the run comes around, it's like zombie land. People are a mess, holding onto the wall. Everybody's in shambles.
Right. So Ironman is a set thing? It's a set distance?
Yes. It's a 2.4 mile swim, which is 3.8 kilometers. And then it's a 112 mile bike ride, which is 180 kilometers. And then a 26.2 mile run, 42 kilometers.
So a marathon after?
After everything, yeah.
All right. So let's take this step by step.
Yeah.
You're obviously a runner, right?
Yes.
We know that. And I know that you've been doing that for some time. What? Because I'm now thinking about it. That's madness. What kind of triggers you to say, okay, running is fun, running marathon's fun, but you know what will be more fun? If I swam and then rode 180 kilometers before that marathon. So how did that, is this, a lot of these things, what it appears to be for me, and you could obviously, confirm or clarify, these are proving to yourself, I can do this particular thing.
My reason for doing it was pretty powerful. I told you I took a break after COVID. I kind of went through a rut. I just had no motivation. This went on for like 3 years. And then my best friend Corey, he died. He was living in Brazil. Flew across to see him. Didn't get there on time. It was just a mess. But he used to always try and convince me to get back into the training. He's like, Shay, he's always motivated me, and I just never did. So when he passed, I was like, what could I do in his honor? What's the hardest race out there? And that's it. Ironman. I was not swimming. I was not riding. All I had was running. And even that I would taken a big break from. So that was my motivation, basically, to do something in his honor. Yeah.
Then can I ask how long the preparation, like when you made that decision to this the Ironman you ran last year?
Yeah.
How long was that? And how long was preparation of that?
I think I bought a bike the year before in the November, and then the Ironman was this last November gone. But I would say I didn't really start training or riding really until Carnival was done last year. And that's when I really kind of stepped it up. Until like 4 months before is when I really, really stepped it up. And then with the swimming, I was real slacking on the swimming, real slacking. I wasn't swimming at all, like not even. And then I was reading all these forums about how, because I did it in Arizona, I was reading all these forums about how hard the swim is, how cold you get, you have to be a strong swimmer, people drop out of hypothermia. And then I started freaking out. So 2 months before the actual Ironman, I hired a Coach Edward. He's great. And he got me into form very quickly with the swimming. He was like, oh, you could have come before. Like 2 months is not enough time. But it was fine. I did.
But you were at a pretty high fitness level.
Yeah, so it wasn't as bad. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, and now explain, you said it was in Arizona. Do they do different venues, or are they just different Ironmans across the US and across the world?
Yeah, Ironman is a brand.
Right,
and
yeah.
they have it, across the world, basically. I chose Arizona just based on timing.
Right, I figured so, yeah. So what are there? Are some Ironmans considered harder than others?
Yes, there would be like hillier courses and
Right.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Where does Arizona fall on that?
Arizona, I think they say it's a PR course, meaning you could get a personal best record time there. So they say it's a pretty fast course. But
Cool.
for me, I found it very dry and cold, and it took me a long time to warm
Where
up
did you
after
swim?
this.
Was it a lake or
in
in the
a
ocean?
nasty lake course. It was disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
I was in driving with a taxi driver the day before or something, and he was asking about it, and I said, well, he's like, you're gonna swim in this lake? He's like, you pull out dead bodies from this lake like fish. And anyway, like everybody's concerned about even practicing in the lake before because you could get sick. Like you're not allowed, the locals are not even allowed to swim there.
And that's where you all are swimming.
That's why we had to
Interesting.
swim. I mean, oh God, I'm making the course sound bad, but no, it was nice. It wasn't as bad as people said.
Yeah.
I mean,
But so tell me about the preparation. Like, so you said you kind of really kicked it into gear 4 months before the
actual, yeah.
My phone was on ring. Thank God nobody called me. But yeah, so I mean, 4 months out, what is it? What is kicking it into gear training for an Ironman? If you were running 18 miles on a particular Friday, and obviously you're running like 10 miles and 5 miles and different before that, for an Ironman, what's training like for that?
Yeah, so
Especially with a coach.
Yeah, exactly. The swimming changed everything. I had to bump up my game. So swimming also is that you have to reach the pool for 5 a.m. So it's a lot. And then you do something in the evening. So doubles every single day, like you're doing double workouts. And then for the Ironman, you still do a longer workout on a weekend. That's just what you do. So I remember one time I drove down to Manzanillo by myself because I was convinced I wanted to just do the full riding distance, 112 miles, just to say I did it before. And yeah, so I drove down to Manzanillo, stretched by myself, and did the whole thing. It was windy, breezy. A car came and like splashed water on me. I cried. It was brutal. And then after I finished the full thing, I just did like a 6 mile run, So that was one of my long runs, my long
Workouts.
Yeah. But I would have like different ones every week. So sometimes I have an indoor bike trainer. So I did the full distance on that too, and then run. I think the longest I did was the full distance on that. and then followed by a 18-mile run.
So
that's the most I got up to.
no, but something just clicked for me. Arizona was freezing. Trinidad is hot and warm. What was that like?
Arizona really wasn't cold for normal people. I just don't like the cold at all.
I don't like the cold either. So even a little bit of cold and I lived in New York and Montreal, and I don't like cold.
Yeah.
But so I get it. But what is it? Is it? I mean, I hate running in the cold. I don't do well with it. Like my asthma from when I was a kid starts to act up and whatnot. But how is that transition?
Well, I found it very challenging. I was like at 1,000 feet of altitude too. I just found it it's a desert. Arizona is actually a desert. So you would think it would be nice and warm, but no, that's obviously not true. But anyway, I just found the air very dry. I could tell even from my, you have shake-off runs. So you do like a 3-mile run that week. You take it easy. You drop down the mileage, obviously, on the week of. And I even might remember on my shakeout run feeling like, something's wrong with my breathing. Yeah, I could feel like the climate wasn't great for me. But,
So, I mean, I kind of want to hear you relive the IronMan. Because I wanna know what it's like. The best that I'm never say never. But it's very unlikely that I would partake
Don't say that.
and finish an Ironman. I'm just saying, that particular exercise may not be for me. But I would love to hear from your perspective, you waking up that morning, being totally prepared, but second thoughts and doubts kind of are inevitable in any competition, even if it's with yourself. But some people are able to not even think about it, which I envy. But I kind of want to hear that. The journey, the mental journey.
Yeah.
Going into it, because that's to me would be the most exciting.
Well, it was so great for me because my friend Cindy, she flew in with her boyfriend, and then my brother and sister, they flew in from Oregon and Miami, and then my nephews. So I had a big, nice crew, a nice family support. So they kind of hyped me up. My sister and nephew came in with the flu, so I was convinced I was getting the flu, but you just kind of freak it out, Yeah. And then it's a lot of preparation in terms of they have a run bag, a bike bag, this one, and then you have to go check your bag here, check your bag there. So the day before, I'm just trying to figure out which bag goes which. I put my shades in the run bag by accident. That was a whole scene during the race as well. So yeah, I mean, it's just a lot. So the morning of, you wake up, of course, you're jittery, but more adrenaline, and then because it's cold, you have to it's wetsuit mandatory, basically. So you have to put on a wetsuit. So that's a whole scene to get into as well. And then, I was just chilling with Cindy and Myron. I forgot I had another friend there too, Mark. I just want to hail him out too. He also flew in to help support. Yeah, and then so you put on your wetsuit, and then so how it works is it goes in corals. So if your swim time is kind of here, you would go with the time they recommend. So I was putting myself kind of maybe at a 120 pace, but of course I reached late, so I didn't get into the coral until I went in a 140 pace, which. It's not a bad thing, but you don't get to swim with people your own speed. So you end up having to pass a lot of people because you're in a slower coral.
Traffic.
Yeah. So the swim itself, it was cold. I ended up I started cramping. My legs started cramping from the cold, even though it really wasn't that cold. But again, I cannot handle the cold. My feet started cramping. So I had to stop kicking. And I kick a lot when I swim. But they say you really shouldn't for a triathlon because you want to save your legs.
Sure.
So maybe it helped me, but I wasn't accustomed to not kicking. So I had to just use my hands. So that was a whole thing. And then, the transition into the ride was cool because my whole family, I'm seeing them cheering me on. And then you have to... It's very cool, actually. They have a bunch of people just come in and grab in your wetsuit. You just lie down on the floor, and they have all these volunteers just grab it and pull it off of you. And then, it's just like a rush to figure out what you need to get on the bike. And, and then you want the whole...
I want to hear. I would love to hear. I have questions because I watch a lot of YouTube. And so I come across random content. So I have questions about
Okay.
some people who accidentally didn't put down their helmet and then they had to hold the helmet for the whole run or for the whole piece of it.
Right. There's all kind of bacchanal that's
Right, yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Like
so-
as much as you plan the day before, that you will always catch things that, you know. So yeah, I'm going the transition into the ride and I cannot find my shades. And I'm like, oh my God, to ride 112 miles with no shades is like unheard of. It's unheard of, especially it's windy. So I was freaking out because I couldn't find my shades. I jump on the bike and then I see my friend Cindy and I'm like, Cindy. Oh, wait, where's Rebecca? My sister. I'm like, Max, they stole my shades. Obviously, they didn't steal my shades. As soon as I rode off, I realized maybe, Sjaelan, the more likely thing is that you put it in the wrong bag. That sounds way more likely. But you do leave your bags out on the grass the day before, the night before. So I would say, like, why don't people come and just steal everybody's things? Because they're just laid out on the
Well,
ground.
I love the honesty stuff. That's good.
Yeah. And so, so the ride for me was brutal because it was windy. I had no shades. I was just like crying tears because of not actually crying, just like whatever.
Eyes watering like crazy.
Yes. And then I also didn't use aero bars, which apparently saves you like 30% of energy. So I looked around the whole ride course.
What are aero bars?
Aero bars are like the things that you lean on. So because you don't want to be in a position like
Where you have to hold yourself up on your bike, you mean?
for the whole time because your shoulders and stuff touch. So apparently you save a lot of energy going, but I just hated them. I have no balance on the bike already.
You're so close.
Doing that, it feels wobbly for me. So I just hated it and didn't bother. I just preferred to waste my energy.
For stability.
And I'm really unbalanced on the bike too. Like, it's bad. And you know, I reached mile 92. Mile 92.
That by itself is insane to me. But anyway.
I reached mile 92 out of 112. So I'm almost there. And somehow I lost focus. And I was looking at my bike computer and I fell. And I'm like, I was so close. I fell straight on my ass. Like, it was a dreadful, right?
Did you skid?
I don't know what happened exactly, but I fell. And I fell. So I'm lying down on the floor on my back, just giving myself like 10 to 15 seconds to get back up. So I start as soon as I was ready to get back up. I get back up. A man.
Don't tell me somebody hit you.
A man flew straight into me.
No
and both
way.
of us went tumbling over again. I was like, oh my God. So I get up. I'm like, I'm sorry, are you okay? Because technically, he probably wasn't paying attention to because everybody else swerved around me, like they avoided me. But he ran straight into me. So he probably lost focus too. But it's more my fault because there should not be a person in the middle of the floor. So I got up and said, sorry, are you okay? And he's like, he's not sure. And I was like, but sorry, I'm sorry, but I have to leave you. I have to leave you. Like, what do we have no choice but to finish. That's what I told him that. So I jumped back on the bike and I went. And I still, after that, had to run a whole marathon. But I think I injured myself significantly because I was kind of limping the next day.
I didn't know that all of that happened. I guess I missed that part of the social media. But was it wet? Was it like dirt roadish? Like
no. I
think
I hit a cone or something.
Wow.
Because there were like cones, and I was looking down on my computer, and yeah.
And you just lost balance.
I just lost that
How
focus.
fast were you going, if I may ask?
I think like 17 miles an hour at that point, maybe.
Did you get banged up?
I got very banged up.
I would imagine so.
I was like,
and then you got
limping.
hit by another bike.
Yes, yeah. And then I had to run this marathon.
Ass.
Yeah, I was limping, and then the next day it was pretty rough.
Right, but then you're now going into the strongest part of the race, your strongest part.
Thank God, yeah.
Which would be the marathon.
I think because of when you fall, you have the adrenaline too. Like that's the only thing that keeps you going. So you don't really feel the injuries until the next day, you know. But yes, going into the strongest part of my run was like, that was the best part for me because I just, as I said, it's zombie land on the run. Like people are just falling apart, like just leaning up on the side and blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
So I just passed hundreds and hundreds of runners because...
How many people ran?
I think it was about 2,000. Yeah.
Wow. And of course, you're now entering the strongest. Was it a thing where when you finished the bike, obviously after that fall, you probably relieved, but was it like, were you prepared for, as soon as I finished the bike, it's like, all right, is my time now.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, great. This is where I shine. This is what I'm gonna, but it still is hard.
It was 26.2 miles, 42 kilometers.
Still,
Let's remind everybody.
Yeah. My pace, it wasn't as fast as it was during training, but again, like I think the weather, like it took me half the ride, like 55 miles to even kind of start to warm up, and then after the fall, it kind of throws you off, But
that would throw me off. Getting back on the bike alone that's a test of will right there.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of those like fall 7 times, get up 8 kind of moments.
I estimate that I lost about 12 minutes, I think, because I was going 17.7. At that point, I was average 17.7. And then when I finished the ride, I was averaging 17.2, which was I Googled this to figure out how long. Right. About 12 minutes, yeah, I think. So I would have
overall, you mean?
Yeah,
right.
It's not that much because the whole thing, I did it in 12 hours and 28 minutes. So to lose
12 hours
yes.
of exercising
yes.
at peak. Okay, so how long is the swim?
The swim took me an hour and 18 minutes, I think. Hour and 18, yes.
How long was the bike?
The bike is the majority.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what takes the longest. So 6.5 hours.
Of biking?
Yeah.
After an hour and change of...
Yeah.
Or hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah.
So even if you went into the 120 bracket, you still would have been ahead of that above that bracket.
But just like by 2 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like it sounds like a good competition there.
Yeah.
So then the run.
Yeah, the run took what? How long did the run take me? 4 hours and 24 minutes or something. Yeah. I just barely managed 10-minute mile, 10:01 or something like that.
10-minute mile?
Yeah. Which to me was slower than my usual, my usual training runs. I was going much faster during training. Like I was averaging like sub-9s and things.
But were you doing the bike?
Well, I didn't do this. I didn't really do a lot of swims into it. But even my 18-mile after the 112 miles, I was doing at a sub-9 pace. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement, and I need to go do that again.
Well, they say that's in with running. Obviously, when you run competitive, like when we're talking like 100 meters and hurdles and thing and long distance, you're competing with other people. But there is always that element of your personal, PB, your personal best. And like for me, like when other people tell me, "Oh, I run this fast a mile," or "I can run marathon," that's like cool. I think that's awesome. But it doesn't bother me that I necessarily can't do that, because for me, it's, I can run a 10-minute mile now comfortably.
Yes.
Like a 10-minute mile, like 5K comfortably. And I feel like, at my age, that's half decent.
Yes.
And then, if I were to push myself, maybe I could do, and then I'm competing with myself.
Yes, exactly.
I'm trying to up my own game for me.
Yes, exactly.
Because who cares if I run a 9-minute mile versus a 10-minute mile besides me?
For you, exactly. Yeah. Nobody really cares. Literally nobody cares. So it has to be for yourself.
Well, the intricacies nobody cares about. But I think that like you running or competing in or completing, I don't know what the proper terminology is, but completing an IronMan, I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest pet peeve in life is the people that say, "I hope you win. I know you're going to win." And it's like, no, you all don't understand. You have to be like an athlete from the time you're 5 years old to win this thing. Right, you can't be liming and drinking and all these things that I obviously do.
No such thing as a donut.
You understand? So I like to just be mediocre and you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you
and have a life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So it really is a personal goal for sure. With the most runners do it as a personal thing, unless you're like coming top 10 in races and thing and really want to compete against other people. I would say majority of runners do it as a personal thing. And
those people that would compete in that top 10 bracket, is that where we get into like professional runner territory, where people get paid and sponsored and stuff like that? How does it work in running? Like I understand it for like tennis and like the other like individual sports, but how does it work in running?
Yeah, so the races always have at least top 3 prizes, and then you'd also have age group categories, because the age groups,
kind of matter as well.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I just entered a new age group, 40. I just forgot about that. So now I'm in the 40 to 50 bracket instead of 30 to 40. So yeah, I would normally place at least in my age group, or I used to be like top 3, but yeah, not so much anymore.
Well, 40, I mean, you're entering, normally when you enter a new bracket, it's normally harder because you compete. But now I guess being the younger side of the 40 to 50 may put you at a slight some sort of advantage. Even though I'm sure that when you're competing up there anyway with y'all are in that category where y'all are like competing to place and stuff like that. Y'all are top athletes anyway.
Yeah, well,
doesn't matter what age you are.
Yeah, apparently women peak with endurance in their 40s. So we'll see. I'll see if this is true.
So IronMan Part 2?
Maybe.
For Sjaelan?
Maybe. Not this year because I'm doing Tokyo thing, but I think I'll go back next year to try and beat the time.
Where? Arizona?
Nah, I wouldn't do Arizona.
Right, okay.
Actually, that was
because
the last year for Arizona.
Really?
They had like 21 years and I got the last year.
Maybe it's the lake.
Maybe it might be the lake.
Maybe it's the lake.
It could very well be. Yeah, I don't know where I'd do it. Maybe somewhere fun like Denmark or something.
Also, the IronMan brand moves around everywhere, or people have the franchises for it kind of thing?
They have, so they would have it in like each country. They'd have a yearly one, an annual one in the same spot.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
So...
Like how we have UE Marathon every year in the same spot.
So so like Ironman Tobago?
Well, somebody would have to come and do that, and I cannot picture anybody coming in for that to do hills and hot sun.
But then it might be one of the like...
It might want to be the hard.
Competitive, it's on the hard category. The people that want to do that.
There might be. I mean, I would be surprised, but
because what I realize is that it doesn't matter how difficult something is.
People would sit.
There's a category of people, man and woman, doesn't matter who is going to kind of tackle it or try and conquer it. And I think instantly to rock climbers.
Right.
Like this Alex Honnold, who there was a documentary, Free Solo, where he scaled, I think it was, if I get it wrong, but he scaled the north face of El Capitan, which is this particular mountain, this whatever mountain climb course.
I heard of it.
And he did it, but he did it free, like no ropes or
that's madness.
However, by himself. I don't know the proper what he did, but he did something insane, like running an Ironman. And I have a cousin who I've never met, but we're friends on social media, never met in person. And he also climbs, and he ice climbs, and he climbs like icicles that are like big like this house, like big like this studio, that are hundreds of feet in the air, and he
nah.
So as I was saying, it's like, it doesn't matter how difficult something is, there is going to be a category of people
it's crazy to see
who
what they
do those things. And it's like two things I said I will never do is jump out of an airplane and skydive. I have zero interest in deep. Well, that too. I put that as the same as skydiving, as scuba diving.
What? You never went scuba diving, Steve-O?
No, I never went scuba diving. But I have no interest where, look, I could do like a 15, 20 feet, like a little snorkel in the coral reef, right? And check out the coral reef. But then you hear about people free diving 1,000 whatever feet or whatever. That may be stupidness, but people free diving, however far they free dive. I'm going to be totally ignorant to whatever that is.
Yeah,
and I know this. I know George Bovell, swimmer, was doing free diving at some point, and so I kind of followed that. It's like social media is how I keep up with everybody. But that, on a one single breath, and you're diving down, and then it's like this whole. So again, there's no end to, I think, what we will attempt to conquer as a species.
It's so true. Yeah.
Because I was reading or another documentary on an ultramarathon in China that I think didn't end so well for some of the participants.
Right.
And it was this ultramarathon touted to be this like very difficult course. It was like, it wasn't an easy course.
Didn't finish.
And a lot of people didn't make it till the end.
That happens in a lot of ultras. A lot of people don't make it.
And like the weather changed, and like they weren't prepared, and people were like freezing, literally, and it was, so it's like, and then they'll have another ultra marathon, and people will be like, oh, well, yeah, I'm going to go and do that one. It's like, oh, or like Mount Everest is littered with, unalive people.
That's crazy.
And then every year, a new group of hundreds or thousands or whatever it is, sign up to go and climb it again.
And why? Yeah, this one I wouldn't understand either.
Well,
I'm a daredevil, but there are limits. Like that kind of crap, nah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I think like when I watch like a random Mount Everest like documentary or whatever segment, I think to myself, I could do that. I could do that, but probably not.
No.
Probably not. I mean,
that
kind of training by itself, that's like training for a marathon itself.
I would do Kilimanjaro for sure.
I was just thinking Kilimanjaro in my head because it's not as
that one
I don't think it's as dangerous. I could be wrong.
And it's just the altitude. You could get like altitude sickness and whatever. Right. But you get an altitude mask and you train. You train for it.
Yeah, you have to train for it. I know I know a couple of people who have done it.
Yeah, that would be one thing on my list for sure.
There was a guy named Henry who I went to school with, who I think he was doing these mountain climbing things. I don't know if he did. I think he did Kilimanjaro. I'm not 100% sure, but like those things are pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. That would be on my list.
So, I mean, while you're doing Tokyo Marathon, what is the Tokyo Marathon known for? Like, is there a sushi stop?
No, that would be amazing. I do want to do a wine marathon. They have wine tasting at every mile and a big party at the end. I'm like, that would so be me for sure.
You see? Yeah. And then of course and then we we will then customize the marathons. But yeah, what are you looking forward to with
But Tokyo, well, I really enjoy the element of surprise when I travel. I don't look up race courses. I don't look up the climate. I don't look up anything. I am not like, people get really obsessed with like looking up courses. I mean, some people go run a course the day before, ride the course or whatever. I don't care. Everybody has to run the same thing. So I didn't look up single thing about this course. And even my friend Cindy, she's a planner, so she's my travel buddy. So she was even like, did you look it up? It's cold. You have to take something like warm. And I'm like, actually didn't look it up. But I maybe should start. Well, especially if I have to prepare for another cold race. Ugh.
Is Tokyo cold?
Well,
I guess you don't know.
Apparently.
Is it?
Well, I don't know. Cindy said that she looked it up and she said
it might be cold.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Tokyo?
No, I've never even been to Asia.
Really?
So this is going to be...
I've never been to Japan. The only Asian country I've done is China.
Okay.
But I did, like, I was there for 6 weeks.
Did you do the Great Wall?
2-3 years, no.
Okay.
I was there more for work, but I did Beijing, I did Shanghai, and everything, all the cities in between, nice. all the manufacturing towns and the factory towns and stuff like that. Ooh. So I got not a touristy
experience
tour, yeah,
nice.
But I still got to eat. I mean, which meant that I was in a bunch of rural places that aren't as Shanghai-ish and Beijing-ish,
right?
And so I got to go to restaurants that, nobody talks English, and I had to have my translator say everything for me, down to hello. So,
what's the craziest thing that you ate?
I like this. Thank you for this question because I like this story because it's funny. So I went with my cousin just about 10 years ago, just over 10 years ago, and I had gone previously. I had done this trip previously, and my cousin heard, and he's like, "I come in." It's like, "Cool, will open your eyes because going to China is like a different planet." Mm. And so we went out with a supplier who we were working with at the time, and he took us for dinner. And we went to one of those wet markets where it's like you walk downstairs and you choose the fish in the fish tank that are swimming, right. And they catch the lobster or the fish or the whatever, and they will then go and cook it for you. And you go upstairs in a big room with one of those spinny tables, the Lazy Susans. And so we weren't in Shanghai, we weren't in Beijing. It was one of the rural cities. And so the food is coming and everything is like, I have a texture thing. The food was good, but the textures are very unique in China.
Right.
Like, especially like the very authentic places. And so everything was a little slimier than I would have liked.
Oh, God, nah.
But eventually, like 20 minutes in, they drops a big, massive dish, huge dish on the middle of the table, and it's like fried chicken. So my cousin and I are like...
fried chicken.
So it's like people spinning around and grabbing things. And so we grab a couple pieces because we're like, well, we know what this is. This is not, it's nice fried chicken with the crispy skin. And so we start busting up fried chicken. Yeah. So I bite it. I'm like, oh, this is a little, the meat looks a little darker than normal. And it's a little tougher. I said, it's not chicken, it's duck. So it's duck. So we busting it up. We're busting it up. And
I'm scared.
And it keeps spinning around, and it was presented where the whole bird is on the dish, including the head, and as a display. And so it keeps spinning around because people are taking different things and spinning the Lazy Susan. And I'm starting to really look at the head of the bird, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not a bill. That's not a duck's bill. So I'm looking at it, and the beak is pointy. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, but this isn't chicken. So I'm like, Jason, this isn't chicken. This is not duck. That's not a duck's head. I know what a duck looks like. That's not a duck. And so I look at the supplier. There's an old Korean man who's been operating in China. It's like, I think he's passed away now. And I'm like, Jimmy, what is this? And he looks at me and he starts to laugh before anything. And he's like, that's pigeon.
Oh my God.
So my cousin and I are busting up pigeon. And it was the only thing that was really good, to be honest. Everything was good, but it was the only thing wasn't slimy.
But if you knew it was pigeon beforehand,
I would have eaten it for sure, but I definitely would have been a little more
cautious.
Yeah. So I've eaten pigeon. That was good. And we went, the second story I have is I went to an even smaller city and to go and meet with a factory. And right outside the factory is this little food place, like kind of like a food square on Arbit Avenue. And it's just like a little foods place. And so there's my uncle, and we went and bought beef soup.
Right.
So I'm eating
beef.
So I'm eating it and I'm busting it up. And my uncle and them know this place, but they decide they're going to play a prank on me. And for the rest of the trip, they kept telling me, Stephen, you like that soup you had the other day? And I was like, yeah, it wasn't bad. He's like, that's, we call that. I was like, what? They said, Bow Wow soup. And Bow Wow dog.
Bow Wow? Oh my God.
But it wasn't. It was beef.
Okay.
But they were just harassing me, which I found out after. But that's my two. I have many more China stories, but those are my two food-related China stories.
We must have eaten some dog hair in Trinidad before.
It's not impossible. But coincidentally with China, the best, my grandmother's going to not like this part, but the best Arabic food I have ever eaten in my life is in China.
What? I'm surprised.
It's a Turkish place.
Okay.
There's two of them. One is called Bosphorus. I think it's in Guangzhou. And there's another one called Sultan. I think it's in Shanghai.
Okay.
I can't remember which cities they're in, but two Turkish places.
Wow.
So it's like Turkish Arabic food.
Right.
The best Arabic food I have ever had in China.
That's very interesting.
Phenomenal. But I've actually heard a lot of people say, with regards to Japan, chefs, that if they could eat one cuisine for the rest of their life,
it would be
Japanese cuisine.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even know what they have there. I'm curious. Like, is it like ramen
and sushi? That's what I think. But I think it goes a little deeper as well. I think they have a lot of other stuff.
Well, I'm excited to try out everything there.
And like everything is kind of like super automated as well. Like they're making like everything is high tech. Like there's vending machines that'll make you a hamburger and a pizza and stuff like that.
That's so cool.
I find so.
I just really, really want to go Nintendo World. That's my that's my biggest thing.
And
I don't even get what else I do in the whole of Asia except Nintendo World.
I was by Johnny the other day.
Of course.
And playing Nintendo as always.
Yeah.
But and then there's also just now my passion one of my hobbies is Pokemon. They're opening up a Pokemon World.
So you go Pokemon hunting and then?
I don't know. I assume maybe, I don't know, but it's like a Pokemon World. It's like a whole.
You do the Pokemon hunting?
No, not Pokemon Go. I do the cards.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see.
Collect the cards. Okay.
Two guys up there, just like a little display.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've been collecting the cards since 1999.
Oh, wow.
When it came out in English. I think
my brother used to collect them too. Yeah.
And I kind of got back into it, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, just around COVID, when it kind of soared again.
Right. Yes.
But yeah, so it's kind of a big deal. But yeah, Japan, I think you're going to enjoy it.
But they have a Pokemon World there?
A whole world that they're opening this year.
Oh,
and
cool.
It's if you ever played the Game Boy game, Kanto is the region and so it's that region.
Oh,
it's Kanto.
Cool.
So it'll be, so I mean, that's something I would want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm also a massive nerd, so.
I wouldn't mind checking out Pokemon, but they'll probably have a line, so many people like Pokemon.
Oh my God, probably.
So I probably don't even belong there. I'm not worthy, but I went to Nintendo for sure, because I grew up my whole life in
Correct.
Nintendo.
When is the marathon?
March 1st.
Oh, so that's now.
It's now.
Oh my gosh. Are you playing Carnival?
I'm flying out Carnival Wednesday.
Right.
Wednesday.
to kind of prepare?
Yeah, I was supposed to skip the whole of Carnival. But yeah, might hit up a fete or two. But yeah, I'm flying out Carnival Wednesday. Carnival would just be a mess for me, and then I have the marathon. And also, it's better to go and kind of climatize. It's 13 hours different, so get into a different sleeping habit.
That's true.
2 weeks before, that kind of thing. So
that's a good point. For me, like sleeping in China, like going to sleep, like the first few nights in China was very, very difficult.
Really?
Because you don't, it's
because
completely screwed. You sleep, you're awake through your night.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready to sleep, it's your body's like, oh, no, what are you talking about? It's 8 a.m.
What are you
talking about?
It's going to be very confusing.
Yeah. So, but I think you'll enjoy Japan.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah.
You have a film guy that just moved out there, Shea Best. And he just moved to, I'm not exactly sure where in Japan, but he seems to be loving it. I'm following him on social media,
nice.
And he's loving it. But yeah, is your group going?
Well, I have there's 2 other trainees running it. Raymond and a girl, I can't remember. I think she lives in Japan now.
Nice.
And so yeah, I will meet them up when I'm there. But other than that, me and Cindy kind of have our own itinerary. We like to hit up when we go somewhere, like a lot of countries at the same time. We're going all the way Asia. Can't just do Japan, So we might do like 2 other countries or something.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Asia, lots of places to go and explore.
Exactly.
So, if you want beach, if you want food, if you want party, there's places for all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, any parting remarks? I would love to hear any. How do you feel about running? What would you say to people that might want to get involved in running or want to get involved in marathons and Ironmans?
Running, I've realized that a lot of people, it's a very social sport for them. Me, I'm a loner. I really like to go running by myself. I zone out, whatever. I'm going at my own pace, running with not that I don't enjoy running with other people. I do like that occasionally, but for the most part, I like it myself. But I realize that most people in general like to run with people. So, you could find, there's so many running groups out there now. You could go on social media, you could find any and just message them, and you could kind of get into running that way. Start off with a 5K maybe, there's every 5K craze. People are going crazy on medals, and now the medals are super cool these days because everybody wants to collect a medal. And yeah, you could just, if you really want to run a marathon, you could just enter then a 10K race, and then you could enter a 20K race, and then just kind of build your way up to it. A marathon is not as hard as people. Okay, it's hard. I don't want to downgrade it or anything. But if you train solid and really sacrifice some of your time, you could get to a marathon in 4 months if you really commit.
Right.
Yeah.
So one thing that I forgot to ask, is music a big part of your running?
I love to run with music.
Right, so do I.
And during the IronMan, you weren't allowed to run with your iPod, so I was left alone with my thoughts.
We didn't even talk about that. Okay, well, we have to touch on that quick. So then, what is your running playlist? When you can listen, what's your running playlist?
Yeah, I love soca the most out of all the music.
That's energy right there.
Yeah, but then sometimes a little tabanca, like a little Coldplay Scientist, is a real hit when you get all up in your feels and yeah. So I could go range from anywhere, pop, tabanca, soca, like anything.
Do you have a set playlist? Do you create playlists like Japan marathon playlist?
Sometimes I did one for the Ironman, yeah.
And then you couldn't use it?
And then I couldn't use it.
For any part of the race?
No, yeah, you can't. You're left with your thoughts for the whole time. Riding for sure is not allowed because you need to pay attention. And clearly I do because I'm a faller. So, so I understand. They want you to be focused and take in your surroundings instead of, being distracted.
I do my little jogs and stuff, but I listen to I have a few songs that are kind of like my go-tos, but I found that a bunch of instrumental stuff like this.
I understand what you mean.
And it's kind of more like things that build.
Yes.
So there's a particular, some people may know it. I actually didn't watch the show,
Requiem
Vikings.
for a Dream? Oh.
Well, I know that one, of course.
Okay.
Yes, I know that one. But Vikings, the show Vikings, I didn't watch it. But there's a particular scene where one of the, and I'm going to butcher his name because I never watched the show, where one of the characters, Hvitzerk, starts with an H and an HV, so Hvitzerk or whatever it's pronounced, where he, as a Viking, converts to Christianity in the show.
Okay.
I never watched the show. I just know the clip. But there's a song that plays, or like an instrumental that plays in the background when that scene is happening. And I probably listened to that
Really?
at least 2,000-3,000 times.
You have to send
on
it to me.
repeat. I will.
I like the instrumental
Right.
ones too.
And it builds. So and by the time it's building, because like I'll send it to you. But it's called and anybody could look it up. It's by Trevor Morris.
Okay.
Havitzer's Choice.
Okay, I'll check it out.
And it's like this 3.5 minute, this instrumental, and it's like
Yes,
dark
I know
and
what you
ominous,
mean.
but
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
at the end of it, it's like all of a sudden
hypes.
I'm like, wait a minute, where did all that
Where's the
fill
build?
come
It's a
in?
build
It's like,
up.
yes.
I love that.
So
and you know the
yeah.
theme song for The Secret?
Yeah.
That's also a good one too.
Yes.
Yes, I like the instrumental.
And then Money for Nothing.
Okay,
I'll send you a bunch of stuff.
Send me some.
So it's instrumentals is what I really like.
Right.
And I yeah.
I like
I have a
it.
whole list of those that are like very like in that kind of in your feels kind of
Yes, exactly.
dig down
And-
deep randomly
Yes.
in your mind. I have a few of those. I'll send them.
Nice.
But thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, this is
Sharing your
great.
story.
So nice to see you.
I always say that I want to bring people back on because everybody that I talk to is kind of striving for big things and greatness and or doing things or creating things. And so I always kind of put it out there, just, on camera so there's witnesses that I would love to have you back. Post marathons because whenever you're
Yeah,
kind of
for
wrapped
sure.
up a few more.
Don't worry, I have
few
a
more
lot
experiences.
I'll for sure do something cool again, and then
Yeah.
there'll be a lot
Well,
to
I think
talk
that IronMan will, in terms of cool factor, will last you a while. Because that is badass. You should put that in your bio, in your Instagram bio.
Yeah, I might get a little Iron Man tattoo.
little-
Apparently, that's the
correct.
thing to do,
Well, Olympics, the Olympians do have their getting 4 rings.
Okay, yeah.
So, or 5 rings.
5
rings.
Five.
4
five.
rings is Audi. Right. So, right. 5 rings.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. What is the Iron Man? Is it like a face?
No, it's like
Mask?
a little M kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
It's a little
look it
symbol. I'll get a small one. I don't want anything. I never wanted a tattoo, but it's the thing to do. So
Yeah,
maybe,
especially now that you've completed one.
Well, you can't get it unless you complete it. Who's going to
Yeah,
walk
no, it's
around?
true. Yeah, it's true. And then your story, your journey of the Ironman,
Yeah.
especially with the fall. I think that kind of,
Yeah, boy.
I mean, not that but it kind of makes for a story.
Could be a better story, yeah.
Where you really had to.
dig deep.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Because
mean,
it throws you off mentally too.
I could only imagine. That'd be crazy. But thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We look forward to. I'll let you know when the episode's coming out.
Cool. Sounds good.
Take care.
You too.